Companies' house fees are changing. What are they changing to, and what is the impact for your business? Hi, I'm Kimberly Shapcotts, qualified chartered accountant, property investor and entrepreneur. Let's sit down and have a chat. Companies' house fees are changing, and they are changing from the 1st of February 2026. So what is changing and what do you need to be aware of with planning anything within your businesses or companies that you potentially have to ensure that you are on track and know what is happening? The first change to mention is the change in our costs for setting up a company so that you know what the expected fee is going to be. And these fees are unfortunately going up. A digital incorporation will be going from £50 up to £100, which means you do have to make sure you're wanting to form a company these days. It is not a matter of let's form a company. When it was £10, you could form them, close them. It didn't cost too much money. At £100, it is worth just that second thought to make sure that you are forming the company in the right way, for the right reasons, without doing it just for the sake of it. If you need a same day setup, then that is increasing to £156. And finally in this area, if you are looking at setting up by a paper process, then it's £124. So the cheapest way to set up a company is going to be digitally for £100. But again, I would just make sure that you are setting things up in the right way so that you're not setting several companies up just in case a project happens. You may just need to make sure you have the right number of companies that you actually need and are going to use, rather than keeping things going for the sake of them going. The cost of things is increasing, so on that basis, it is more costly to keep a dead company, a dormant company, alive. Moving on to our confirmation statement then, which is one of those that we have to do every single year. And at the moment, our fees are £34 with Companies House. They are going up to £50 per company per year. So that means if you've got a company that's doing nothing, it's going to be costing you a minimum of £50 per year. For any that is trading, it will as well be £50. So this is where maintaining and keeping a company, depending what it is doing, is starting to get more expensive than it used to be. We used to have confirmation fees at about £12, which obviously is considerably cheaper, and a tenner, you could live with keeping that for a while. At £50 for a company to be retained, that is starting to get a noticeable sum of money for something that you're not doing too much with. If you're doing your confirmation statement on paper, this is increasing to £110 per year. If you're looking at changing your name, there are fees to go about changing your name. Now, the digital ones, the paper ones, they are not changing, they are as they are. However, if you're looking at a same-day digital service, this is now increasing to £85. This is not a particularly large fee, but again, it is one of those, if you can get your company named the right thing from the beginning, it obviously saves you having to pay money to change the name at a later date. If you're looking at registering any charges on your company, which you may need if you've got mortgage lending, if you're working with private investors and you need to put a charge on the company for certain things, this is going to be costing £14 to do it digitally. Reduction of share capital, form and paperwork, the fees are changing for these. There is certain sections under 644, section 649, where you go through these processes. Now, this may seem irrelevant for some people. However, I will say that some people are doing this where you've got a lot of maybe lending, large directors' loan accounts, and you're having an insolvent company. I think we will be seeing more of this sort of transaction where we are converting our directors' loan accounts to our share capital to make our companies look solvent, which therefore means at a future point we may want to reduce that share capital so we can take that money back out of the company. This is all an accounting process that you'll talk to your accountants about as and when something like this may be necessary, but the fees to put that paperwork into Companies House are changing. The cost for same day service that is done digitally is going to be £89 per transaction. The paper process or the digital upload service that they've got with Companies House, that is going to be £20. which is for either the Section 644 or the Section 649. So as you can see, it's not too expensive a process unless you are needing to do it quite quickly, where the same day service is a higher cost. So there's a few things there to be aware of, which you may come across in the future if you are making some changes with your shareholdings, with your director's loan accounts, to show solvency potentially in your company. And I foresee this being more prevalent as we go to visibility on our company accounts, as we start seeing the profit and loss account on Companies House and you see a full set of accounts rather than the current position where we only see balance sheet positions. The final change that we need to mention today is where we are closing and doing a voluntary strike off, or a DSO1 form. To do this digitally, it is going to be £13, and to do this on paper, it's going to be £18. And this is actually a reduction in fees. So from looking at what Companies House are trying to do, it appears that they are trying to get rid of some of those dormant companies off the list. They're making it easier for us to dissolve those companies, and actually to keep those companies is going to be more expensive. So they're making it so there's an easy way out for those potentially dormant companies, rather than go down the process of paying a confirmation fee of £50. It's actually cheaper to close the company for £13, and then they've got the list cleared, so it's only actually trading and companies that are needed that are being retained on the Companies House register. So it's not all doom and gloom of fees increasing. There has been some decreases in fees, which is a real positive. However, it does look like you need the company to be doing something. If you're looking at having a company and not doing anything with it, then it's becoming a lot more expensive game to be maintaining a company than closing it down. Obviously, if you're going to be setting a company in the next year, then the cost of £100 to set it up, you might say, actually, I'll keep that dormant company alive for a year, maybe 18 months towards the second confirmation statement. If you don't then use it, you can dissolve it rather than having to set up a new company, which is going to be another £100 to set up. So there is a bit of a balancing act here, and with these changes in fees, you just need to have a think through the rationale and the logic of what you're trying to achieve, and based on that make a decision of, do you keep the company going? Do you close the company because you don't actually need it and it's not doing anything? As you can see, a few changes, and unfortunately a little later notice than I would like to give all of you. However, we have only just recently seen this news article, which does not appear to have got out into the world just yet. So keep an eye on Companies House for any further changes if they are making, but these changes are all kicking in from the 1st of February 2026. Hopefully today you've got an idea of what changes are coming in February 2026. If you have any questions, then please do leave a comment. Please like the video and do subscribe to the channel. And let's make tax less taxing.